First, thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you so much for your time on Sunday so that we can talk about growth together. So first, what is growth? So growth is a sustainable and also repeatable systematic engine to achieve the business goal for the company. So the inside circle is the business goal for the company. Every company care about acquisition, which is acquire new customers and retain and engage them so that they could make money out of it. So how we can achieve this inner circle of the business goals is through experiment to learn and based on the insights into products into user psychology so that we could build on top of it a self-sustained and a reinforced growth model. And what it means, I'm going to apply this to Instacart, which have similar business model as Nestdish. So in Instacart, what it means in terms of acquisition, which is to get new consumers, shoppers, driver, and stores onto this platform for the first time. It could mean register an account, explore the app, and place or deliver their first order. For the store, which is upload their product category and connect the API for the first time. So bear in mind that Nestdish is like Instacart, is like a three-sided market. They have consumer, shopper, which is driver, in Nestdish case, and the stores. When we decide product features, we need to consider the benefit of all these three-sided market so that your product feature can be delivered successfully. So in terms of retention and engagement, which is those three-sided market can continue to use the product and achieve their goals. For consumers, for Instacart, it's price parity, which is the items I buy in Instacart is not more expensive than the same items I will buy in the store, and speed to delivery, and also quality of the products that picked by my shopper, and also the abundance of the product selections that I could access in Instacart. For the driver is maximize my hourly earning. So for each hour I spend to pick the product or deliver the products, I will make as much money as possible. For stores, is the incremental revenue, which is not cannibalize their existing revenue from their offline shoppers or their self-owned website, and also the S revenue. And the strategy defensiveness, which is avoid their future overwhelming reliance on Instacart so that Instacart have a lot of bargaining power towards them. The third thing is monetization. So currently, Instacart have three revenue stream, which is GMV, which basically how many orders, how many items the consumer shop at Instagram, and advertising revenue, which is based on their data. They could actually help the CPG company to have better advertising performance compared to, let's say, Google, and also subscription revenue as well. So the brainstorming question for you is that for the specific segment that assigned to your team, what are the specific goals across these three areas that you want to optimize for? Second part is to, which is the growth engine part to achieve the business goal. So first, I will start with the experiment. I guess a lot of you are from tech sector, so you're familiarized with experiment. So for experiment, at least in Facebook, it's very important for us to understand the problem and verify by solving this problem how much impact I can deliver, and also identify effective levers, and also track the long-term impact of the launches. So because in this brainstorming section, you won't be able to have experiment, but I would love to encourage you to think about, like, by solving this problem, how much impact is it going to provide? So it will really determine by what is the size of the people who have the problem and to what extent your features that you brainstorm can solve the problem. The second piece is the insights into user psychology, which fuels the ideas to experiment and also the growth model. So for example, for Instacart, the user psychology, which is food preference, is very culture specific, and different ethnicity group actually have different food preferences, and which would determine what kind of grocery items they shop. And neighborhood are very ethnicity centric, concentrated as well. If you look at like across America, different neighborhood actually are mainly are for are concentrated by specific ethnic group of people. In this way, which means that because this is offline, online to offline like business, so the concentration of the food preference and also the residents actually can scale up their operation, which can reduce their operational costs offline. So for shopper, which is I want to just fulfill as many order an hour as possible to make money, which means that they could actually like to forsake the delivery quality, the quality of item they pick in order to make as much money as possible. And how are you going to have the counter treatments towards this kind of psychology? So for store, it's like I want to make money, but I also don't want to rely on Instacart that much. So based on this type of understanding different like a sided markets, their psychology, you could come up with some like growth model that could kind of fulfill the different people's needs, or kind of counter have the trail how can I say and also actually have the treatments that could mitigate some of the very self-motivated incentive that could hurt the other side of market. So for example, for Instacart, they have the recently launched this feature is called Instacart batch order. So for the shoppers, they actually want to shop as many orders at the one store as possible and then deliver the orders to the neighborhoods, multiple orders to the same neighborhood, so that they could maximize the hourly order they fulfilled. So that's their incentive, which is deliver more orders and also get higher commission. However, for consumers, they care about the order quality, which is on-time delivery and the quality of the items picked. And so how does Instacart tie the balance these two? So for the consumer, they have one feedback loop, which is the rating system to rate the items that the shopper shop, and also whether they deliver on time, whether they drop off the order at the right place instead of just randomly drop in the complex. And so they understand this, so they will use this feedback rating system to say that, hey, for shoppers, you can only access to the batch orders to make more money and increase your efficiency if your rating is high. So that's how they actually balance these two-sided benefits, and also try to curb the self-motivated interests of shopper, which can hurt the consumer experiences. The whole if the consumer experiences is hurt, they don't trust the platform anymore, then they will actually reduce the retention and engagement with this platform, and also the monetization of the platform will be hurt as well. So next, I'm going to talk about growth levers. What kind of growth levers we have to achieve these goals? So for acquisition, we have SEO, which is search engine optimization. For example, in next dish case could be, you can search, let's say a dim sum from a restaurant in South Bay, and the SEO can pop up, which is next dish, and then Google will pop up the next dish, and you could actually use the Google link, click into it, and then to become the register account in next dish and a place order. Organic viral web is that using network effects to acquire customers. For example, very self-evident organic viral web for is a Zoom invitation. So it's people you know or people you work with, they send a Zoom link to you, and then by default, you need to register the Zoom account or etc. Become the new customer for Zoom to be able to go to that meeting. This is organic viral web. The incentive viral web is that, for example, for Uber Eats, they would encourage you to send a referral link to your friend, and if your friend register and become a customer at Uber and Uber Eats, and then you would make money. So this is incentivized you to actually use your network to help Uber to get new customers. So retention, we have onboarding, notification, membership program, and reward program and promotion. For onboarding is when any new customer come to a new app or website, they actually have no idea what's going on. And how do you actually provide the onboarding journey, which is not too difficult to them, but also give them help them to achieve the job to be done along the journey, and give them the satisfaction along the journey as well. Notification is the customers might not use the app very often, and how you can use either email notification or push notification in your phone, or the text message to share something that could meet the customer's value, and also give them some excitement so that they would click on the notification you sent and get back to the app to do what you incentivize them to do. Membership program and the reward program are usually similar. So membership program is when you become a member, you will waive some delivery fee, or you will receive some discount. And reward system is, for example, you can think about credit card or airline companies reward system, which is the more you actually purchase in the certain things, and then your reward points will increase. But normally, we could think about should it be linear or non-linear, like a points acquisition towards your consumption. So reward system is a very good way to actually have the customer think about their sunk cost they already have in the system, so that they will not switch to other platforms. The other part is monetization. I will just skip that. So examples of some growth levers. For example, the sharing feature on Dropbox is an organic viral web, which is to share the material in the Dropbox to your network so that they would use Dropbox for the first time as well. The viral web with Uber Eats, we have talked about that already. So let's move to the growth success metrics. So for growth success metrics is a way for us to think about, like, I do all this acquisition, I do all this activation and engagement and revenue. I have many levers for them, but how do I know whether I'm successful? And in doing so, that's one thing. The second thing is that when you're trying out different ideas, you also want to evaluate them against these success metrics so that you can prioritize some features that you will build. So for acquisition, usually is the number of new user registered in the platform, and also you want to actually compare across different acquisition channels to see which one is more effective in terms of return on investment. And activation is the first basic experiences or placing the first order, and you will see that how many number of users actually complete the whole ordering flow, and they have successfully placed an order and the order get delivered. Retention engagement is that how many users actually maintaining the platform, and what and compared to my competitors, whether my retention is on par. Because you spend tons of money or efforts to try to drive acquisition, either through paying the users to refer their friends, or through the social or through the online marketing. But if you acquire 100 users and then you activate, for example, 80 of them, but only 10 of them retain in the platform to place a second order, which means that you're wasting tons of money in acquisition, and the app itself actually is not good enough to retain the users. So for retention, we think about a daily active user or monthly active user or weekly active users. It really depends on the nature of the app. So for Nestdish, I think Nestdish is a high frequency app. So we should actually think about at least a weekly active user, whether they place an order every week. Not just actually just go to the app and also bounce out the app. And so the other metrics are really, so you can also think about net promotion score or customer satisfaction. But the other metrics, they are more for the consumer, for example, social network app, etc., which time spent is really, or sessions are very important to them. But I don't think time spent or sessions are very important to Nestdish. For revenue, you could think about revenue growth rate and the average revenue per user and compare it against the customer acquisition cost to see whether you have made money in the long run. So next, how do we apply this to Instacart? So for Instacart, the North Star metrics could be monthly grocery orders delivered on time. And why is that? Because the number of orders actually is a proxy of money that you make. This is focused on the volume, and deliver on time is focused on the quality of the orders you deliver, which could be the proxy for the future retention and growth. So how do we break down this number? Actually, we break down to, okay, how many users I have. So the users would include the number of new user and resurrected user and minus the churn user. And how many orders, how many items they place per order, we can multiply by that. And also we multiply by the number of orders they place per month. So for these three components, when after they multiply, which will get to the total monthly orders that place in Instacart, or the total number of items purchased in Instacart. And if we multiply by the price, average price is the GMV of Instacart. And then percentage item delivered on time is the quality proxy to see what is the quality of the item. We could also introduce other quality proxies, for example, the price parity, for example, the customer satisfaction of the quality of the item picked. So by thinking through this, and then we can think about, okay, how can I move this metric? So for new user, how can I activate a new user better so that I can increase the number of new users who place the first order instead of just bounce out the app? How many users I resurrected, etc. For number of items per order, we could think about, okay, what is my recommendation? Is there some discounted coupons? You can also think about, okay, for the user base I want to expand to, do I have the items that they like on this platform so that they can shop for? And how many items they search actually show up on the website or the app instead of they could not find anything they search. So for the number of orders they place per month, and we can think about, okay, how can I move this number? We can use reminder. We could use actually subscription to incentivize them to place more orders. And then we can give them some points, reward points, so that they would use those points to get discount, etc. And we can also think about items delivered on time. And we can think about like, for example, the batch order is a great way to incentivize the shoppers to deliver, or the drivers to deliver the order on time. So, and I would love to encourage you, how is your chosen segments, their goals related to the North Star goal for Nestdish? And how would you think about different levers or the product initiatives that could move your sub-team's metric so that you could contribute to the North Star for Nestdish? So here I have